What's up guys, Myron Gaines here with Sowon. Today we're going to talk about cardio. Is it good for you? Is it bad? Does it help you lose fat? Is it counterproductive? Let's get into it. So, cardio. There's two main reasons people do it. A, to burn body fat, or B, for health reasons. Now, in an ideal world, you're doing it for both and both are occurring at the same time. But the reality, guys, is that cardio is a very inefficient way to burn fat. I'm gonna get into and explain why. Your body burns calories in a couple of different ways, okay? You got basal metabolic rate, or BMR, or RMR, resting metabolic rate, okay? This is like how many calories your body burns just sitting around, like if you were in a coma or something, right? Then you got non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is like your non-exercise deliberate activity, right? Like fidgeting, you know, whatever it may be, playing with your hair, whatever. Then you got exercise activity, exercising at the gym, right? Any type of deliberate exercise, running, pushing your friend, you know, anything like that. And then you got thermic effect of food, okay? So like calories expended from eating food. So like we know protein, for example, has a very high thermic effect, AKA it burns more calories for your body to process it. Cardio falls into exercise activity. Now, the thing is, guys, is that the calorie expenditure apps are not accurate, unfortunately. And I made a video on this card up top on why calorie expenditure apps are not accurate. And as a matter of fact, the more fit you are, the less accurate they actually are. So with that said, guys, cardio should be a tool to augment your fat loss. And what I mean by that is the calorie deficit needs to do most of the work. If you don't lose weight, you're by definition not in a calorie deficit. You need to focus on putting yourself in a calorie deficit, and cardio should be a tool to help you get to that calorie deficit once you start to hit plateaus in your fat loss. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're dieting on 2,000 calories per day and you can no longer lose weight on 2,000 calories, but you don't necessarily want to cut your calories down to 1,800, right? You want to still eat the same amount of food. Now what you can do is you can implement 1 to 2 days of cardio, 20, 30 minutes apiece, whether it's high intensity interval training or HIIT, or low intensity steady state cardio, or LISS as they would say. And you can use that to supplement and help you put yourself into a calorie deficit when other methodologies have been
exhausted.
Anyway, so once you've exhausted all your options, guys, calorie intake perspective, then you can start implementing the cardio so that you can put yourself in a calorie deficit through activity. But you want to reserve cardio in your toolkit for when you start hitting sticking points so you can blast through those barriers. But if you start off your diet where you're doing a bunch of cardio in the beginning, the cardiovascular activity isn't gonna have the same potency as it would have if you introduce it later on in your diet. Because as you do more and more cardio, your body becomes more and more efficient. Therefore, you're burning less and less calories doing the same set activity. So you have to increase duration. And there's actually been studies shown that once you do cardio for more than 3 sessions per week at about 20, 30 minutes, that's when you start to tread into waters where your gains are gonna start getting affected. And then on top of that, you guys gotta remember, when you put yourself in a calorie deficit, your ability to recover from training becomes diminished. So adding in extra activity that otherwise isn't really necessary, assuming you're keeping your calories in check, is gonna be counterproductive to you maintaining your strength. And that's how you're gonna actually maintain the lean body mass, is by lifting weights, keeping your protein high, keeping the deficit sustainable, right? Not too drastic of a deficit, and minimizing cardio when you can. Obviously, later on in the diet, you might have to implement it, but you want to save that in your toolbox for the end. So Sowon's going to talk about cardio for the ladies.
Okay, ladies, it's pretty much the same thing like what he just said, but a lot of women come to me and they're scared to do like resistance training because they want that slim, like toned body. But I'm here to tell you, like, you need to do resistance training. And the reason why you don't want to overdo your cardio is because your body will get used to the cardio. So let's say you start running a mile, right? So you do that for like 3 weeks. Eventually your body's gonna get used to that and you're not gonna lose fat. So you're gonna eventually have to up it up to like 2 miles. So eventually if you do one for a year from now, what are you gonna run, like 50 miles a day? Like, you can't. The best way to implement cardio into your workout routine is to know how to manipulate it into your workout plan. Instead of doing cardio like 5 days a week, you can start off by once a week. But personally for me, when I coach my clients, I like to push off the cardio as much as I can, because you still could lose weight just off of resistance training, because like we all say, as long as you're in a caloric deficit, you're gonna lose fat.
You wanna do the minimum effective dose and do the least amount of cardio required for you to lose weight. If you can get away without doing any cardio and just lifting weights and keeping your diet in check, do that. That way you can maximize recovery in between training, and you can focus on preserving as much lean body mass as possible. Now, if you do have to do cardio, there's ways to go about this. Strategies that you can implement to retain the most amount of lean body mass. Number one, keep the cardio and the weight training as far apart as possible, okay? So if you can, do the cardio after you weight train. Now, with that said, it's always better to spread out as many hours as possible. So if you can weight train in the morning and then come back at night and do cardio, that's better than doing cardio post lifting. Never do cardio first, okay? Because the problem with that is if you do cardio first, your ability to challenge yourself in the gym and lift heavy weights and keep the volume up, because we know obviously lifting heavy weights is imperative to retaining lean body mass, your ability to do that is gonna be diminished. So if you do a HIIT workout right before you go into a leg session, you're gonna suffer, you know what I'm saying? So you're better off doing the cardio after the weight training. Now, if you can do it on different days, that is the most optimal if you're gonna incorporate cardio. So a routine can look something like lift weights Monday, cardio Tuesday, lift weights again Wednesday, cardio Thursday, then lift weights again on Friday, if we were to give you guys an example. And then you wanna get away with the least amount of cardio required. So if you can do 20 minutes on a treadmill, whether it's walking briskly, a brisk walk, you should be able to have a conversation with the person next to you, whether they wanna talk to you or not. And, or you do HIIT cardio, where you're basically doing 30 seconds to 1 minute really hard, and then you're taking another minute off. And then you just interchange, do 5 to 10 intervals, and get out the gym. Focus on recovering, because like I said, when you're dieting, the number one thing you gotta focus on is recovery, since your ability to recover has become diminished from less calories. So those are some techniques to implement cardio in a way that isn't going to hinder your gains. Keep them far apart, ideally different days if you can, and always prioritize the weight training and let the cardio supplement your fat loss routine. And as we know, controlling calories is the most important factor when it comes to fat loss. Studies are gonna be below, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend that has problems with losing weight and does way too much cardio, or a girl that thinks that she's gonna get bulky when she lifts in the gym. And don't forget to get my free ebook, Unplugging from the Matrix of Fitness and Game, below in the description box. Get the book, it's awesome. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.